Today's Thursday, the end of the first week after the recess, and a pretty broad range of things on today, although it is a short day. Parliament finishes at 6 o'clock on a Thursday. We start off with a business statement from the Leader of the House, Chris Hopkins, who'll tell us what we're going to be doing next week. That's subject to some questioning generally from the Honourable Jerry Brownlee. Go on to questions. The first is an Amy Adams question to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by all his statements and policies? And then there are 4 questions in a row to Kelvin Davis. The first is from Todd McClay on tourism. Does he stand by the statements he made to the Economic Development, Science and Innovation Committee last week? David Bennett, does he stand by all of his statements and actions in regard to Waikeria Prison? Nikki Kay as Associate Education, Maori Education, around strengthening the capability of the education system to raise achievement for young Maori. And then from Greg O'Connor on announcements that he's made, presumably the Waikeria announcement again. Then we go on to Mark Mitchell, to Andrew Little, Minister of Justice. Does he stand by all of his policies and decisions? Very similar question to Phil Twyford as the Minister of Transport from Jamie Lee Ross. Run through a few more questions. Question 9 is likely to be a little bit interesting in that it's Paul Goldsmith to Shane Jones around the Fonterra chair comments that he made. We then go on to the Appropriations 2017-18 Supplementary Estimates Bill, first reading. There's no debate. This bill is a tidy-up bill. It's to appropriate the expenditure that wasn't in the last budget that needs to be appropriated. So the government might have spent some of it, but it needs to get its budgets tidied up. Then we go on to the Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill. This is going to go right through all its stages today, subject to leave earlier in the day. There's a Civil Aviation Safeties Levies Amendment Order, which looks like it was missed out from earlier legislation that it should have gone through. So again, this is Parliament doing a bit of tidying up. We then go on to the substantive debate for the afternoon, and that's a debate on the report of the Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade Committee on the international treaty examination of the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. That will be 12 10-minute speeches, and it will sort of replace the first reading of the legislation necessary for this agreement. I expect it will be a bit lively. There have been a variety of views expressed over recent years on what was a TPPA, and I expect people will be reminded of what they've said in the past. If we finish that, we'll get on to the committee stages of the taxation neutralising base erosion and profit shifting bill in the name of Stuart Nash. So, varied afternoon, lots of different questions, some focus on Kelvin Davis, but then a pretty substantive debate on trade policy.